Here we go. Welcome to Jackal's Wrestling Entertainment Pod. As always, I'm Caleb.
Jeremiah.
Well, we had a very eventful week coming off of the heels of that huge Elimination Chamber pay-per-view we had. What did you, before we get into Raw, starting off with Raw, what did you think about how WWE came off of that big pay-per-view? You saw John Cena heel turn. We knew we would see The Rock and Cena, but what do you think WWE did to keep the hype going for WrestleMania even without them? Do you think they did a good job? What's your overall opinion?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of hard without them, like you said. Like, a lot of comparisons to Hulk Hogan, heel turn, but, when that happens, you had Hogan on Nitro the following night, so they weren't going to be their scheduling conflicts, obviously, but, I mean, they kept it, fresh and recapping it throughout Raw and SmackDown, but, I mean, also, if you look just outside media, I mean, Stephen A. Smith was talking about it. Linda McMahon even said that she got asked about it at the State of the Union address. So, I mean, it was all over the place. So, I mean, I think WWE kept with that momentum. Triple H was talking, putting stuff out about it. R-Truth has been, keeping up with it. So, I mean, they're keeping it fresh. And eventually, the payoff when we do finally see The Rock and John Cena afterwards. But, I mean, right now, it's still everyone's talking about a week later, even if without them being on TV.
We're talking about that big Cody Rhodes promo on it that, of course, kept it going, too, as we get to SmackDown. But here we go, talking about trying to keep momentum up. You start Raw off with a huge CM Punk pipe bomb, and it would end in a Seth Rollins CM Punk brawl that would even go on throughout the night. What do you think of this promo, and how's that for keeping momentum after Elimination Chamber?
Oh yeah, it's big for keeping momentum after Elimination Chamber because, as we talked about before, even before the decision, before that decision was made where John turned on Cody, the way he won the Elimination Chamber match was highly questionable. Something CM Punk was very mad about, and not just the fact that he lost, and not just that he was on there, but the fact of he was mad at how John Cena sold out. He was mad at The Rock because, well, let's face it, CM Punk don't like The Rock anyway.
Yeah.
But he did have respect for John Cena that he no longer has. He put it out and then with Seth Rollins. I mean, this is just we've seen you in the Wombo. We saw you on the first Raw of the year with Netflix. Now a steel cage match tomorrow night on Raw in Madison Square Garden between these two. I mean, this. I know it's very early in the year, but this could be rivalry of the year already.
It could be. I love what they're doing with it. You mentioned to me earlier today that you think Roman Reigns could have a possibility in like make an appearance or something either before, after, or in the cage match. So where do you see this going? Is it Rollins and Punk at WrestleMania? Is it some type of three-way at WrestleMania? Where do you see this going?
I think it's a three-way. I mean, we haven't seen the Tribal Chief since Royal Rumble, since that attack by Rollins. He's treated dates to be back on SmackDown appearances towards the end of a month, but still, it's regarded. Big things happen in the Garden. And to answer your question, I do think a triple threat somehow, because right now I don't see something immediately unless they settle in the cage match between them two, them letting each other go, unless it goes and pivots towards Punk against someone else, maybe tomorrow night. I don't know, but right now I just see it because Rollins has deliberately attacked and went after both men all year. So it's hard to see at WrestleMania him not taking on both of those guys right now, unless, him and Punk, something happens as a conclusion to that rivalry and Punk goes in another direction after tomorrow night. But I just see it being the three of them myself. What do you think?
No, I agree. I do. I think it's going to be interesting, like not having it for a title, but I think with the rivalry and the hatred you have put in there, I think you can make a match out of that. But I do think it'll be very interesting to see a triple threat there. And I mean, who knows? We may see another triple threat that we'll talk about later on in Monday Night Raw recap. But next up, we had Gunther defeat Otis. After the match, he would continue bullying, so to speak, Otis, Akira Tozawa. Jay would try and make the save. Jay would end up in the sleeper. What did you think of this? And is Gunther just showing that maybe he's too much for Jey Uso?
That is a very good point. I mean, so far we've just seen physically Gunther's one-up Jay and he's got the best of them the last 2 weeks. And Jay's looking to get his. And Otis did not have a bad showing against the champ. Showed what he could do in the ring, but we've seen that Gunther does have those bully tendencies afterwards, like you said. But so far, he has wound up Jay Uso so far in this rivalry. But Jay takes on, I believe, Waller tomorrow night. So Jay's going to have to watch his back because I'm pretty sure Ring General will be there.
He'll be around. I believe that for sure. Next up, we had Lyra Valkyria retain her Women's Intercontinental Championship against Ivy Nile. I thought this was a pretty good underweighted match. What do you think of it?
Agreed. A very good match. Valkyria's been awesome as Intercontinental Champion. And, to what we were just talking about last week or week before about so far seeing the theme of these titles being rematches. But this is the first one I've seen both for United States and Intercontinental Women's title where it's a different opponent than the tournament finals.
That's true.
And Ivy Nile I think's really improved, and I'm with you. Underweighted match and a good win for Valkyria, picking up hard-fought victory.
Next up, we saw Ludwig promo. We saw him talking about how he won that triple threat. We would see Penta come out, and we'd see Penta best him. What did you think of this segment, and where do you think this is leading? What do you think this is going to turn into?
See, I don't know. That's a tough question right now because Pete Dunne was not there, right? It was just between these two.
Yeah, it was just them.
So do we see a singles rivalry heading into Mania between Kaiser and Penta, or still right now you have a Judgment Day in Braun and everyone's still talking about possibly a multi-man kind of championship match, like a ladder match or some kind of like 6 or 8-pack challenge. So I mean, could we see that escalate to that? Both of those men wanting the Intercontinental title?
Yeah, that's very possible. Speaking of wanting the Intercontinental title, next up we had Finn talking. Braun Breaker would come out, interrupt, but it seemed like it was a trap. It seemed like the Judgment Day knew exactly what, with putting Finn out there, that they would send and they would have multiple Judgment Day members try to jump Braun Breaker. It didn't really work, but what do you think of this? Do you think it was a trap? Do you think Finn wants the Intercontinental Championship?
I do. I agree with you 100%. It was a trap. They're throwing him off backstage. Right, Finn telling him he has it and stuff, and it didn't go their way. So I don't know if Finn might be upset about that point. He's been kind of frustrated with them. But Liv and Raquel managed beating them on feign to success right now, but take champions. But I do think it was an overall could have been trapped by the Judgment Day. It did not work for Braun, but Finn Balor, he's been talking about his decade in WWE. And we know he wants gold. He wanted a shot at the Chamber. Like you said, great match with Rollins. He fell short of that. But the Intercontinental title is familiar territory for Balor. I would not be surprised to see him have gold around his waist before the end of the year.
It's very interesting. Like you said, it could be a multi-person match. But is that the only way you're going to get the title out of Braun Breaker's hands? If it's a multi-person match with someone else, so you can climb a ladder to get it? Because right now, who's stopping him? He's been on a dominant, monstrous streak as of late.
Exactly. I mean, the only person I can think that beat him was Jay months ago. And since then, no one has, like you said, no one's stopped him. No one's pinned him. No one's beat him, to my knowledge, unless in a non-title match. But still, whenever that title's on the line, he's picking up victories. He's beat Sheamus. He's beat Kaiser. And, the list just goes on. Of men that Braun's bested and even beaten Jay to get the title back with an assist from Solo, but still he's been dominant. So yeah, I'm with you there. It'll be very interesting to see who does possibly take that title off of him.
So let me ask you a question. I'm not 100% sure, but was there a match or something with the Creeds and the War Raiders? Or was it a promo, or was it something before the main event after that? Because on WWE results, they don't have anything, but then on the bottom, they have Eric Ivar and the Creeds, saying they were part of the show.
Yeah, I don't think there was a match. There was that disqualification one a few weeks ago, but no, I don't remember seeing a match of them in the Ferris. I probably never know. I don't They had advertised it. It was
Yeah,
advertised
that's
for
what I
Raw
thought. That's what.
beforehand, but no, I don't think
Maybe they cut it for time.
they may have, because no, now that you think about it, I don't remember seeing that match.
Well, let's jump right to our main event then. Next up, we had, in a surprising thing, what did you think of this? Because this was huge, huge moment, such a big moment that in an interview later after the fact, Natalya would say the whole women's locker Triple H would let come out in Gorilla to watch this match because they knew it was going to be Io Sky's moment, and they wanted to be there and watch it and congratulate her when she got backstage, and it was. We saw Io Sky defeat Rhea Ripley, and now she is going WrestleMania versus Bianca Belair. What did you think of this match and this huge, huge main event and title change on Monday Night Raw?
Oh, I mean, it was awesome. Like I said, it was just the shock value was there. I mean, we know how good Io is, but everyone, just assumed, they advertised this match. It's going to be Bianca and Rhea at WrestleMania, but Io got a surprise little, back and forth between Rhea and Bianca. But like you said, you believe that there might be set up for a triple threat, possibly. Because I don't think Rhea's going to let slide that much that she lost her title and she's not going to be in title picture at WrestleMania. But no, I mean, great match and awesome by Io. And again, Rhea cannot beat Io. So far in her career, she has not been able to beat Io Sky.
She's believed like 0-3 in these one-on-one matches against Io. That's insane to think about how dominant Rhea Ripley's been. Maybe Io Sky's a kryptonite.
That's true.
Next up, we saw NXT off with a really good tag team match. I thought we had Soruko and Zarya defeat the Women's United States Champion Chelsea Green and Piper Niven. What do you think of this match, and what do you think of this makeshift tag team of Zarya and Soruko? They're winning some matches on NXT.
Yeah, they are, exactly. I mean, awesome match. Everyone involved did a good job. We talked about how good Chelsea's been doing at U.S. title ring. Her and Piper Niven really helped, I think, put the big spotlight on Zarya and Soruka for those, not too familiar with NXT. But no, I mean, it's worked out great. I mean, just look at the styles. You have that athletic, high-flying style of Soruka, then you just have this just down and dirty powerhouse in Zarya. I mean, she is a beast. I mean, she picked up Piper Niven. That's a pretty impressive feat. But we also saw her pick up Lash Legend too, so she's picking up bigger and powerhouse women. And so far, this tag team's really working out good. I see them possibly getting a shot at the Judgment Day myself.
That would be a very interesting match. Next up, we had Jada Parker defeat Kalani Jordan. It was a good back and forth match, and after the match, Jada Parker said she's done playing games and she's coming for the NXT Women's Championship. What do you think of this? And should Valcourt or Julia, or whoever wins that match, be looking over their shoulder for Jada Parker?
Yes, I think so, because really you look at the big, like we've talked about before, the landscape of women in NXT. You have Jordan Grace knocking on the door, but also Jada Parker has picked up wins. A big win over former North American champion, Kalani Jordan. And now you look, this right now is, unless it's a disqualification finish, if this match at Tuesday night ends fair and square, whoever wins is going to have 2 titles. So, are you going to have to defend both of those titles at Stand and Deliver? Are you possibly looking at the Jada Parker and then maybe a match against Jordan Grace?
Oh, wow, that'd be interesting. That's an interesting way to look at it.
Because I honestly think she's next in line. She's made her point, and then Jordan Grace will be taking on Roxanne Perez Tuesday night, which might be, Roxanne's swan song from NXT, since she's been mostly on Raw as of late. So right now, I think of those as the 2 front runners for whoever comes out to this match victorious.
Yeah, I think so. Next up, we had a really cool, nostalgic feeling Hardy's promo. We would get Hank and Tank, we'd get Briggs coming out and stuff like that. But what I thought the coolest part was after the Hardy's promo was that stare down, that little bit of a verbal, but that stare down between Fraxium and the Hardys, setting up for this upcoming tag title match on NXT where you get the Hardys and Fraxium. What'd you think of this promo, and how cool is it to see the Hardy Boys in the WWE ring delivering these promos again?
It was awesome, and everyone's saying welcome home. And we know that this relationship between NXT and TNA. We also know that a lot of the same Hotties could be going forward. We saw they got merchandise last week, and no, it was just awesome. I mean, especially growing up watching Hotties, like I said, that nostalgic feel. The fact that they can still go. I mean, we saw that last week against No Quarter Catch Crew, and man, I mean, again, Tuesday night. This is a cannot miss episode of NXT. Roadblock in the Garden. To my knowledge, first time I think NXT's ever been in the Garden, at least televised. And yeah, like you said, just that teasing of what's to come. I mean, this is already could be a match of your candidate in the Hotties and Fraxium. I mean, Fraxium, just go back. I mean, if you're newer to NXT, not familiar with them, just watch some of these NXT pay-per-views for matches that these tag team matches they have put on. They have just done awesome work in this last year. And then to be taking on the Hotties, which, resume speaks for itself. So, no, I'm with you. It was awesome. And just that little tease, that little stare down of, we know what's to come next week. Very, very cool promo.
Next up, we had a match that got called short because of stoppage. We had Jordan Grace against Cora Jade. And I believe it's been reported Cora Jade had a concussion, and the referee called the match off, and it could be continued. But what did you think of this match? And do you think there's something there that if Cora don't get a concussion, we can see these two battle, and you think it can be a good match?
Yes, most definitely. I think it was already leading to that way. It was Jordan Grace was dominating a little bit. Cora was starting to get more into it before the stoppage. But yeah, just hope that wish her the best. Hope she has a fast recovery from the concussion and is safe. And yeah, most definitely, we've seen Cora's been improving. I think more and more since this latest comeback from the leg injury. A lot of fans were concerned that she hurt her knee. She said she never said anything about her knee. So thankfully that's okay, a concussion. They have awesome technology and everything to help her out. She just needs to sit down sidelines for a couple of weeks. But no, most definitely when she's back, I look forward to actually seeing this match happen.
Me too, seeing it for real and not seeing it with a stoppage. Speaking of a stoppage, that's what we got. Trick Williams just came out of the gate and he just won a knee and the match was over. And then we saw Eddie Thorpe staring him down when Trick was calling him out. Eddie Thorpe was always there. He was always watching. And now it's set up for what's going to be what I feel may end this rivalry between Trick Williams and Eddie Thorpe. But it's actually been a really good rivalry, and Eddie Thorpe is bringing a dark side out of Trick Williams. You just see that knee, that assault in this guy. Trick wasn't letting up.
No. I mean, even after the bell was swung, match was over, it seemed just this dark, aggressive side. It was like a Tyson fight that was over so quick. He just knocked him out. And yeah, no, I mean, I think Eddie Thorpe's really stepped up his game. He's really, shown you who he is, shown you that, his promos have got really good. The man can go on the wing. And he's establishing himself as his presence in NXT.
He is.
So I think, like you said, this could be the conclusion to the rivalry. But I honestly think both men are better for, like you said, we've seen this a darker, aggressive side of Trick we've never seen before. And know that, man, that's a threat in itself. And Eddie Thorpe has really just upped his game to a main event status in this rivalry, I believe.
I couldn't agree more. Next up, we had something you really liked and you really enjoyed. You talked about it a lot. We saw Sean Spears win the NXT North American Championship from Tony D'Angelo. Talk about it and tell me why you're so big on this moment happening for Sean Spears.
Oh yeah, I mean, awesome match. I mean, again, just great storytelling by these guys. I mean, watch this match, watch the moments, watch Tony D'Angelo does a great job of selling the back, selling the beatdown. It's not like, you see so many, you hear matches and, a lot of stuff on indies and not knocking anyone down, but, there's no selling. You don't see the, damage that each move has. Everything was calculated in this match. Every move meant something. The damage added up to the end. When D'Angelo went to put him away and it did not work out, he could have hit his finish because his back gave out and Sean Spears took advantage. And I'm happy for Sean Spears. To my knowledge, I said first ever WWE Gold. You look back to way back in the 2000 teens as Ty Dillinger on NXT would come up to SmackDown in 2017 and just kind of hung around mid-card, challenged for the US title, never won it. Eventually would leave in 19, go to AEW. think he ever got a championship over there
No, I don't believe so.
either, but just the walk. And even when he was injured, he was there every week mentoring Jensen, Weiss, and this Izzy Dame thing. And so, yeah, no, I'm very happy for him. It's a veteran. It's you like to see. I know he plays a hill, but it really is a feel-good story for a guy that's put a lot of work and time into this business to finally get the championship. And like I said, great match, great storytelling, and it's not over yet. So I'll be very interested to see where this rivalry goes to next.
It will be. I'm with you there, and you're right. Deserving moment for Sean Spears. We started SmackDown off with a bang. We started SmackDown off with for returning Randy Orton. What'd you think of this promo? And I really think it's almost set in stone that we're going to see Randy and Kevin Owens, possibly a stip match, because Randy Orton said he wants to kick Kevin Owens' head off.
Yeah, exactly. And like we said, we were talking about that last week when the Elimination Chamber was so close. Security comes in there and stops it. We haven't seen Randy talk about going to a dark place. We know he can, but we haven't seen it in a long time. And Kevin Owens brought that out of him. Triple H brought that out in a sense too, back in, I want to say, October.
When he told him he'd do it on his own?
Yeah, because he didn't think he was the guy that Kevin Owens was anymore. So we've seen that build up. And even, to your point, Randy Orton took a shot at John Cena. So, I mean, just imagine this for a second. If we do get the match on this Ultra in 25, where John Cena's the heel and Randy Orton's the face.
What torn that would be?
One of the greatest rivalries of a generation. When we were kids, that rivalry started.
Yeah. Remember those classic 2009 matches? I love the I Quit, the Iron Man. All of it was just so fun.
Hell in a Cell. Yeah, it was. It was, like you said, great matches. And yeah, just imagine just one match at least, just with the roles reversed, is just mind blowing.
That'd be really cool.
But no, the Viper's back, and we saw later on. We'll see him and Mello next week, and we talk about Mello, and I can't wait to see that match.
I think Randy Orton's been wanting to work with a guy like Mello for a long time because he talks about working with the younger guys. I can just see them making just an amazing possible show still, or maybe match of the week next week.
Exactly.
Next up, we had Tiffany Stratton defeat Piper Niven. What'd you think of this match? And how cool is it that you're seeing like Chelsea Green not only in stuff being the women's U.S. champion, but you're seeing her elevate the game of Piper Niven too.
Yeah, exactly. And you've seen now, like even with this, like she's a continuous thread throughout the show. Whether she's backstage complaining to artists, or she's at the beginning of the show setting up like last week against Stratton. And like you said, yeah, no, she has. She's helped elevate Piper Niven. She has the lackey heat. She comes in, she's in a match, a good match, and she gets a shot at the women's champion. And Stratton's really looks like she's embracing the babyface role now going forward, going after established heroes, still waiting for the queen, who made her presence felt after the match.
After the match, Charlotte got her again. Stratton, seems like she's been a fighting champion, but it seems like this is wearing her down, and every chance Charlotte gets, she's right there to attack her and remind her that she's going to take that championship at WrestleMania.
Exactly. So there's nothing wrong with being a fighting champion, like I said, but maybe she needs to start focusing on Charlotte and not worry about your Nia Jax and Chelsea Greens. And because, like you said, if she's caught not paying enough attention, that will be the Queen's title come WrestleMania.
Next up, we had it's a number one contenders match, but not next number one contenders match. We already know from a Nick Aldis like March bracket board he had. We know that the Profits are taking on DIY. We know that's happening for the tag titles. Well, who's the number one contender after that? We found out because we had a triple threat tag team match between Pretty Deadly, the Machine Guns, and Angel and Humberto. Pretty Deadly would walk away with a victory. What do you think? Is this Pretty Deadly's moment?
Man, that's tough. It could be. I mean, you've seen a change of a fanfare. The fans are now in Pretty Deadly's corner. They seem to be the faces after they were, doing DIY's bidding. But it could be. But you have to look at it right now. The Profits have been making a point. They've been jumping everyone. They say they want the smoke. They say they're hungry. And right now, DIY has to watch out because this is a side of the Profits we've never seen. Even when they were aligned with Lashley a couple years ago, I never saw this vicious side of the Profits before. So, no, can't wait. And right now, I think the SmackDown Tag Team division is the hottest tag team division in WWE right now.
No, I agree. I agree with that.
Just great matches every week. And, yeah, congrats to Pretty Deadly. Awesome match they won. And, yeah, can't wait to see them, whoever they will be facing.
It's going to be very interesting. Like you said, I love the SmackDown Tag Team division. It just seems like there's any of these tag teams could just take the ball and run with it, so to speak.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of reminds you of that, like, early 2000 Hardys, Edge and Christian, Dudleys. Yeah. Even, you throw Too Cole in there. We had all these teams that were at that time, even TNA, Test and Albert, that could have a tag title one, and you wouldn't complain, and then it'd just be, change between them. But by doing that, you elevated all these teams.
And good tag team wrestling while you're at it, because you can't forget that. You can have the attacks, the one-ins, the this and that. But no, you're seeing good tag team match night, like week in and week out for SmackDown. So you're right, I love it.
Yeah, everyone's brought it, whether it's Pretty Deadly, DIY, the Profits, the Guns, or Borto and Garza.
They brought their game up too.
They have.
Okay, before we get on to the next pod, SmackDown, just want to encourage you guys to go on WWE's Facebook page. They have it. And watch the point of view of Bianca Belair when Jade Cargill returns at the Elimination Chamber and mauls Naomi. I just want to say it's just how good, you talk about selling this and that, how good selling it was from Bianca just to have that, like, I can't believe this happened, and just how good of a job she did on selling that. But speaking of how good of a job on selling it, this Naomi Bianca promo that we saw on SmackDown, I thought was amazing. I thought was great. It led to Jade coming out and again beating the living daylights out of Naomi. But what'd you think of the promo? I myself thought was amazing.
Oh yeah, same. I mean, it was very dramatic, slow burn, and Bianca finally realized that Naomi did do it. She didn't want to believe it. Naomi kind of, maybe taken a little bit from her father-in-law a long time ago, if you remember, and you can also refamiliarize yourself with it in the new WWE 2K25 game. It's part of a showcase, but Rikishi ran over Stone Cold, said he did it for The Rock. Well, Naomi said she did this for Bianca because she felt Jade was mooching and stealing Bianca's spotlight, her fame, using that to propel her own career. So maybe in Naomi's mind, she didn't do anything wrong. But that's not how you go about it. That's not how Bianca would go about it, because Bianca's not that kind of person. And just, yeah, like you said, just complete, like, great promo. Possibly the best promo I've ever seen from either woman.
That's tough. I may have agreed. That's tough, but that was just so good. Like every moment of it was like believable. Like it was like it was them two talking, and it was not out in a wrestling ring.
Exactly.
And that's like that. That's just an amazing promo. They just were out there and they stole the show with that promo.
And then, like I said, Jade comes back out. She whoops Naomi again. Bianca kind of washing her hands of it.
Bianca kind of telling Jade on the entry ramp, she's yours, do whatever you want with her, and then she went in and she did.
So, I mean, you have to have Jade and Naomi at WrestleMania. I just can't see that not being the case now. But when's Jade going to actually grab a microphone, though, and talk and put her side of the story out there? Because we've seen treats and, we've seen physically, which, she's been able to do. But I want to see what she thinks of it. And like I said, you have to have this match at WrestleMania. I just can't see them not doing that. Because, I mean, now, and Naomi's, she's going to be prepared for it now. It's, when the match happens, it's not going to be like these one-sided whoopings we've seen so far. She's going to have a game plan, and it should be an awesome spot, possibly show-stealing match at WrestleMania.
Yeah, I could see it. Except it was a pretty good match. I wish it did end in disqualification, but Braun Strowman and Solo match ended in disqualification, but then you would see an awesome fight also between Jacob Fatu and Braun Strowman. Where do you think this is going? And we'd see Jacob Fatu get thrown through a part of the stage and get up and laugh. This man's insane, is he not?
Yeah, exactly. He is. He's just a monster, and I love this great booking. Speaking of monster, for Braun Strowman. I mean, they say it, one big SOB on his short, and Pat, got that famous for him. But we see that booking like we have Strowman as this monster you don't want to fight, as you know what he can do. And then you have Solo, which is does awesome in ring, and then this monster Jacob Fatu. So like I said, where is this going? Because you thought maybe you're going to get Fatu Solo, but now it seems like they're on the same page, and it seems like, are we going to get Strowman and Fatu at WrestleMania? Which I am fine with. I mean, you could do last monster standing or something between these two behemoths, and it's just as right now there's a lot of possibilities. But I am loving this storyline so far, especially with Braun Strowman in there, because you know how dominant these are. Who believably could bring a fight to these big, dominant Samoans, and Braun Strowman's that guy.
Yeah. Next up, we had Chelsea Green defend her women's champion, or WWE United States Women's Championship, in a street fight against Michin with the help of her new Slagent, Abba Fire. What did you think of this match, and what do you think of the group that she's building? And she offered Drew McIntyre a spot to be a Slagent too. So what do you think of it?
I think that'd be very interesting. I don't think Drew's one for factions. He does not speak very fondly of the one he was in, Free and B, for those younger fans or people who may not know. Google it. But no, I think Drew's going to do his own thing. But no, I mean, again, like you were just talking about, Piper Niven can, we saw the tag team, but obviously, Isla Dawn got let go, and they kind of, flourished out. So, can we see a rebuild for ABBA under Chelsea's in her leadership like we did for Piper Niven? And no, I mean, very much surprised. I did not see that coming. But yeah, once again, she's champion. Cactus Jack homage was awesome. That
was pretty cool.
How you do a street fight. Very good. Again, like we've said before, you can't get tired of watching these two in a match. But now I have to wonder, is it time for someone new to take on? But still, though, in Michin's defense, she really has not lost fair and square at all.
She has not.
It's been a very hard chase. B-Fab tried help her, even the odds eliminated Piper Niven. But unfortunately, this new one that no one saw coming cost Michin the match. But it'll be very interesting to see what's next in this whole saga.
Next up, we had this awesome Cody Rhodes promo. And first off, did you like the promo? Second off, how did he do for carrying this? Because he may have to do this a lot. He may have carried this story without the Rock or Cena being there for a few weeks. So how do you think he did on his first try?
Well, first off, awesome promo. And we saw that, you really see, how the times have changed, and especially with John Cena turning heel now. Now, you look back, a decade or so ago, it would be John Cena in this spot that Cody's in, and it'd be whoever would be the corporate challenger or corporate champion, and they'd be going against John Cena, and John Cena would deliver that passionate, fiery promo that we saw Cody Rhodes do. Now it's Cody's time. He's in that spot. He is the guy, the workhorse, the babyface. He's delivering that fiery, passionate promo. And yeah, I mean, it was great. He did a great job, like I said, keeping it going. Like you said, with scheduling conflicts, he may have to, but I believe at least John Cena should be back soon. I think he has a couple more weeks on that movie, from what they keep saying. But no, I mean, Cody did a great job of, again, they've kept it live, they kept it on everyone's attention still. And just that promo from Cody, and just see where it goes next, because Cody is ready to bring the war to WrestleMania, no matter
Cody is.
what for Rock's and Cena's corner or who's there. Cody's keeping that championship, and he said, "You told me it'd get heavy, John. I'm holding it. It's not heavy at all." So yeah, great promo. And if that just don't get you as a fan excited for WrestleMania, from when you see the Hill turn, and then you just see that promo and him using John Cena's words against them, I don't know what will, because I am already can't wait for that main event.
I can't wait either. That's going to be awesome. Want to talk early on in the night, we saw Drew walking into the arena. We seen him jump Damian Priest. Well, that would have implications, because later on in the night, Drew would beat Jimmy Uso in a match. He would look on from outside, and he would you have to believe he was going back in to take out Jimmy. And as he was about way into the ring, Damian Priest got his look back, so to speak. What did you think of this? And are we going to see Priest and Drew at WrestleMania?
Yeah, first off, a good match. Now, right now, 1-on-1, Drew and Jimmy's 1-1 to have that rubber match. But, yeah, like you said, he got back his pound of flesh, so to speak, for earlier on the night, Priest. And yes, I think we are going to WrestleMania match. And then I just want to point out something that me and you were talking about earlier on the week. Is you see so many people online and just people complain this and that, like, oh, well, this is a set down for Drew. You know, he should have been in a title match for the year he had. Yeah, he had a great year. But not everyone's going to get a title match. You know, more often than not, the one-on-one matches, and you have them set. You have Cody and John Cena. You have Jay and Gunther. Those are your world title matches. But what people seem to forget or not think about is not every match has to be a title match at WrestleMania. You can have great matches by great stars with a great story that can steal the show. And I think we're going to get that with Drew and Priest. Two guys in their prime right now, stars, former world champions that obviously have a grudge with one another. Priest has now cost Drew both shots to headline WrestleMania on the road, eliminating him in Rumble and in the Elimination Chamber. So, right there is just a great setup for a WrestleMania match.
Let's not forget that this goes back a year. Despite the fact that was Drew taunting CM Punk that lost Drew that title at last year's WrestleMania, who's the man that cashed in on him?
Damian Priest.
Who's the man that took that belt? Like you said, Damian Priest. So this story, like, that's what people don't get. Like, this is not the old WWE that, no disrespect, but that we were seeing with Vince McMahon, where they forgot like everything that happened each week. Or it was like something different, and they would even talk about something that happened a year or two ago or something like that. This is the new WWE where, like, you're getting these rivalries, and nearly everything you see there's a reason for.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they talked about it themselves. Drew, you know, you go to WrestleMania, when you go Drew's failed Money in Bank cashing on Priest. So like you said, this is a year in the making WrestleMania match, and I, for one, cannot wait for it because they are going to tear the house down at WrestleMania and kill each other.
They are.
More than likely.
Yes, and it could, not the one that could be a show stealer. Next up, we had a huge moment on SmackDown, way to cap the week of WWE. We saw LA Knight get his United States Championship back by defeating Shinsuke Nakamura. What'd you think of this? And huge moment for LA Knight.
Yeah, exactly. Had that big match, Phil, main event, Phil, awesome. We've been, like we said, we've seen that a lot on Raw and SmackDown this year, which has been really awesome. They're giving you these pay-per-view type matches on Raw and SmackDown. And yeah, awesome moment for LA Knight. Fans behind it. Two-time United States champion. Nakamura did a great job. I'm pretty sure we'll see more of Nakamura. He's already had an awesome start to the year just because he lost the title. I don't think we'll see less of him in title picture or in good matches. And yeah, like I said, feel good moment to really get behind and rally LA Knight and see what's next, because we know he is a fighting champion. So I wonder who will step up to LA Knight now that he is the champion.
It'll be interesting to see. So let's go into our match of the week. There's a lot of candidates for this. I want to start with that Valkyria Ivy Nile match on Raw. I also want to throw in Rhea Ripley EO on Raw. That match was amazing. Some NXT matches. I liked the Jada Kalani match. I put that up in there for the week. And then I also really liked that. What was the main event of NXT?
Spears.
Yeah, thank you.
D'Angelo.
The Spears D'Angelo match. I thought that was, to be honest, I thought that was the best match on NXT. Like you said, the selling of Tony D, the Spears finally getting his moment. Then for SmackDown, I really liked that street fight. Chelsea Green, Michin.
That was a fun one.
Yeah, they came out, and I just thought they had a great match. I also like Drew and Jimmy. But every time you put these two in, I believe last time I was that they had a match. I had the match of the week, and I had them up for the candidacy too. So I really like that pairing. And then, of course, I'm going to throw in LA Knight winning the U.S. Championship. Awesome match and just a great moment for LA Knight. I'm going to give the match of the week to Rhea Ripley and Io Sky. Thought that was a great match, amazing talent in it. And for my MVP this week, I'm going to go to something you've said, something you were talking about earlier. You're talking about how she's done a great job of implementing and keeping herself in the show throughout different points. We saw her have a really good match opening NXT. We saw her retain her WWE Women's U.S. Championship. I'm going to go Chelsea Green for the MVP of the week. I think she did it, like you said, she's in throughout the show when she's there, and then she's elevating people around her, and the fact that she's doing work on NXT, SmackDown. I have to go Chelsea Green for this week.
I agree with her. That is an awesome MVP. Great decision, like I said. She's elevated herself. She's elevating people around her. She's done a great job. Characters. She has one of the best characters in wrestling right now. Just in all honesty, yeah, she deserves that most definitely. And as you're saying something, as you're going through these matches, I just thought of something. Is this the first week ever that titles changed in all the main events of Raw, NXT, and SmackDown? Because every main event there was a title change.
That's wow, that's interesting. And these are like small. These are like big title changes.
Yeah.
Dang, that's something to think about. That's something we'll have to maybe look up and get back to you guys on the next pod.
Exactly.
But what's your fallback, your historic match of the week?
So I want to go back to 2005, and with Eddie Guerrero and Rey Mysterio. They had the rivalry of the year in 2005. I mean, pay-per-views, on SmackDown, the promos, everything. Everyone talks about the ladder match. You had WrestleMania match. I mean, this was all over the place. But this is a match that maybe a lot of people don't know about, or maybe a lot of people forgot. It was a match. It was after the attack on at Judgment Day, where it was a disqualification and Eddie threw Rey Mysterio on the stairs. Well, his ribs were taped up, but it was June 24, 2005. You had a match between Rey Mysterio and Eddie on a SmackDown that was just as good, if not better, than any of the matches they had on pay-per-view that year. I mean, it was an awesome match. Two of the greatest to ever do it. And yeah, I highly recommend that. So go on Peacock, go 2005, June 24th, and watch Eddie Guerrero versus Rey Mysterio. I believe it was the main event of the night, but I'm not sure. But it was an awesome match.
Thank you guys for joining us. We'll see you next week.